Shocky Gamer here. So today in this video we're taking a look at the Mad Catz handheld racing wheel. So this is what it is in front of us. Now you're looking and you're probably thinking, what is this thing? It looks weird. Well, it is, kind of. Basically it's a handheld racing wheel, sort of like the RC controllers. But Mad Catz went to a new level on this one and tried, I think, to make it as ergonomic as possible. As you can see, it's got a lot of curves on it. A lot of curves. Everything seems to be curved in one way or another. So basically how you hold it like a gun, like that. So it's got this kind of grip at the back here, so it fits nicely in your palm. Your thumb can basically get these buttons here, which is your circle and your square. On the inside here, you've got a triangle button. And of course you've got your throttle and your brake. So you'd hold it like that, you'll get those buttons really easy, throttle and brake. Up the top here, you've got sort of basically what's only can describe as sort of like a D-pad. It's sort of like a stick almost, but if you can hear that, it's got directions. You've also got your select and start buttons up here, L1, R1, and you've got the X button. So you can reach these ones from like this, so you can quite easily jump between them. Of course, on the side here, you've got your actual steering wheel. So you just turn that to steer. On the top of the controller, you've got the Mad Catz logo just there. So that focuses. There you go, Mad Catz. The little paw print there. On top here, you've got basically a couple of different modes. Alright, so you've got a mode and you've got a program. Program means sort of like just programming the actual kind of functions or what you want, especially like the top buttons on what you want to do. So you've got different modes here as well, and it's basically steering wheel, digital, analog, and dual analog and digital. So steering wheel emulates basically this being a steering wheel. Dual analog will emulate a gamepad controller, and digital will emulate like a D-pad. So obviously steering wheel is going to be the best for most games. The idea of the other thing is in case you have a game that doesn't support a full steering wheel, you can go back to digital or whatever. You've also got some more buttons on the side here, which are basically your L3, L2, R2, and R3. And R3 and L3 are basically like normally on a gamepad when you push your sticks down. Those two buttons are those. And these ones, like the idea, you configure those to what you want, and you can tap them while you're actually doing the wheel, if you wanted to. Or you could just forget about them if you didn't need them. So it's got a long cable as well, for PlayStation 1 and 2. There's the port on it. Looking at it, it's really a weird looking thing. Using it, I have to admit, it's fairly comfortable to hold. It's not that heavy at all either, which is nice. It's actually quite a light controller. The cable will make it heavy, but once that's spread out over the floor and going to your console, you won't really notice it that much. It's fairly light. The shape fits your hand quite nicely. You can easily reach all the buttons in here with your pinky. This was your thumb, and you can stretch up here and get it. And what I noticed is the select and start buttons are a bit too far just to normally stretch up, so you wouldn't be able to normally just tap them by accident, which is nice because you can't actually get them. If you can see, that's pretty much stretched out. I can't get them without actually lifting my hand up and going up, so that's quite cool. I can get those quite easily though, just by lifting a little bit. This you can get as well, and of course this one, if you wanted to, you could hit all those buttons without taking your hand too far from the wheel. The wheel itself feels quite nice. It springs back if you let go. It does have somewhat of a bit of little force feedback on the wheel. Not a huge amount, but it's a bit of resistance basically for you. That will only be on the steering wheel mode, by the way, not the other modes. Overall, it functions pretty well. The only issue I had was with certain modes. in the one game, in a couple of games actually, I tried it in the actual modes. It kept swapping to digital and it wouldn't use the analog mode. And one time I got it to analog and then it suddenly jumped back during mid gameplay. So weird kind of issues I've had with it with certain games. I'm not sure if it's a common across all racing games or not. I haven't really tried it with that many games. But overall, from what I tried from the games I got it to work, it worked well. The steering mechanism was nice. You could hold it any way you wanted to. You could hold it like this, you could hold it like this, and basically the maximum you could put it on a surface and do it. Whatever felt more comfortable for you. So it did give you some options to utilize it. Really unusual controller, and it's very hard to find as well. You do not see these often. Very rare to see them in the box as well. I don't even have the packaging. I bought this on its own out of its packaging. I have only seen one in its packaging since I bought this one, so yeah, it's very hard to find in packaging with everything. Very hard to find the controller in the first place. Very unique kind of design. Not something I don't think everyone would like, but definitely something if like you had a space requirement, you couldn't really have a steering wheel. Something like this is good, and it's made by Mad Catz, you know, well-known brand. So they could have done a bit more work on the modes, I think, to make it a bit more compatible across the board with many games, as well as the program feature, maybe a bit more compatible with most games or how it functions. Bit of glitches there, but other than that, it seemed alright. Didn't really give me too much issues other than that. But yeah, so I mean, it works quite well. The buttons are fairly responsive. Probably the thing that bugs me, I could say, is the pinky button down here. It's very hard to actually hit it because it doesn't actually hit. Like most of them will put the pinky button so that you actually hit this part of the finger, but this one's actually hitting right at the base of your finger, the way it wants you to hold the handle. So you are basically trying to squeeze your pinky onto the handle. You're just trying to squeeze it more to hit that button, or you're trying to just hit it like that. So it can be awkward to hit that button at times. But luckily, you know, with most racing games, you won't need to triangle too much, depending on the game, I guess. But yeah, so otherwise, it's a pretty cool controller, quite an unusual one, quite a nice find. Definitely for some kind of racing enthusiast or anyone that likes playing racing games on PS1 or PS2. And yeah, quite a good quality thing, very ergonomic the way they've built it to hold. Yeah. Give a bit of a full look around of it again. But yeah, otherwise a very unusual controller. Pretty cool. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'm Sharky Gamer. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll have heaps more controller and accessories up very shortly. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to. If you liked the video, then hit that like button. And thanks again for watching, guys.